Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and on today's video, we're going to take a look at the Lian Li L-connect 3 RGB and fan control software. Now, first of all, massive shout out to Colin Hilton, who actually donated this case, which is the Lian 3, and also a bunch of Lian Li fans, controllers, etc. So thank you very much, Colin, much appreciated. Today's video, I'm going to go through some of the basics of the L-connect 3 software, how it works, how you can integrate it with your existing system, how you can actually allow your motherboard software to control the fan so you don't have to use the application if you don't want to, and some other very cool features which you may be interested in. We'll also take a look at some of the controllers that can be attached to the system. We won't be going into the streamline, that possibly will be for a different video, but we'll go through the basics of the fan setup so you can see how it all works. Now, the first thing you're going to need to do is to head over to the lianli.com website, and you're going to want to get the L-connect 3 software. So links for this will be in the video description. If you scroll down, you'll notice there's some important parts there. So you'll need the Visual C++ redistributable, so either the x86 version or the x64. So if you've got a 64-bit CPU, get this one. If you've got a x86, which I think is going to be not very many of you these days, but the options there. So you can download that, save that, and then run the software. That will install the Microsoft Visual Basic C++ redistributable packages. And also you're going to want to download this one here. So this is the L-connect 3 software. Current version as of today's date is 2.015, and this was posted on the 14th of June 2024. So quite a recent version. Today's date is the 25th of June 2024. So once you've downloaded that and installed it, it's all very straightforward and simple. So we can get rid of this. And this is the L-connect software. So if you're looking for it, just click on your start menu and you'll probably see it's in there. So L-connect 3. If you want to, you can right click on it and pin to your taskbar. If you want quick and easy access to it, choice is yours. And this is the main software. So the first page you're going to see generally is going to be the system info page. So we'll quickly go through these tabs on the side and go through the various settings available. So first one, we've got system resource. Now this actually is quite cool. It tells you what your CPU is doing, temperatures, voltages, same for your GPU as well, and your RAM, storage, etc. So like a little display panel. This is quite handy. If you want to, you can actually have a floating system information window as described here. So click on this toggle and then you can have the L-connect 3 software just running up here. And even if you minimize this, this will stay present, and this will stay on top of most windows as well. So if you open up your Internet Explorer, etc., or Google Chrome, this will remain on top. You can actually resize this, I think, a little bit, so make it larger or smaller depending on what suits your particular resolution and your system. Now, if these aren't to your liking, what is actually in here, so for instance here we've got CPU temperature and CPU wattage. I like to keep an eye on those. And we've got the same for our GPU, so our GPU temperature and also our GPU wattage. Always nice to keep an eye on that to see how much energy you're burning through. But if, for instance, you don't want to see those, you can click on the X, remove it, click on the plus, and you've got various options. So you can have CPU voltages, GPU temp, GPU voltages, network, and RAM load. So various options there, so you can have those in your panel. I'm going to go back to GPU temp, because that's the way I want it. If you want to open up L-connect 3 again, you can just click on this bit here and then it will open up the main window. So pretty nice for the system resource settings, and also you can go into system specs. So if you're not too sure what is actually in your computer, you can have a scroll through here and it'll give you details on the right hand side. So yeah, pretty useful information overall. So the next one is going to be the fan and pump profile. So in here shows you the ports on your controller. So currently with this installation I've only got one SL controller, which comes with the fan set, and of which I've got 4 fans connected, as you can probably see from the footage on the side there if it's up on the window at the moment. So we've got 3 fans in the front of our case and we've got 1 in the rear. So the one in the rear is on port number 4, I believe. I'll have to double check that, and that is giving us our RPMs. Port number 3 actually has the 3 fans daisy chained together, so it appears as one port but multiple fans. We'll show you how to control the RGB on those a little bit later. So this is where you set up all of your fan speeds and also the type of fans you have installed. Now currently on ports 3 and 4, these are actually 140mm fans. So we can change that, and that will actually change some of the RPM figures to coincide with what those fans are actually designed for. In the settings later on as well, you can change whether or not the fans are using different types, so SL infinities, SL 120, SL 140. You can make the selections there, although generally it will be predefined by the controller you've got plugged into the USB header on your motherboard, which again, we'll take a look at some of the wiring a little bit later. So this is kind of like a brief overview. Now in ports 1 and 2, currently we have nothing connected at all, as you can see there, because we're showing 0 RPM on both of those. And when you've got fans daisy chained, rather than show the individual RPMs of the individual fans, it just shows a unified response because they're daisy chained, so they're all doing the same thing. Hopefully that makes sense to you. So at the bottom here, this is where we can choose our fan profiles. So let's choose our port number 3. And currently this is set to what I call the MUB curve. So if we do apply to all, you can see there it says MUB. If you want to set it to the standard speed, you can do that. You see now it's changed there to standard speed. Although our other fans are still running at the MUB profile. So you can choose to use different ones. So if you want to have a faster fan or a different setup on each one of your fans, you can do on the particular channel or port. If you want them all to be the same, just click on apply to all. And you see there, they've all changed to standard SP. So choose however you want to do that. Also, depending on which port you're on, you can choose what is actually being monitored, whether it's the GPU or the CPU. So you can change that accordingly, and it will take the temperature from your GPU, which we saw over here, and then apply the appropriate speed to your fans. So depending where you've got your fans mounted, if you've got some mounted at the bottom of your case facing towards your GPU, then you would probably choose GPU. Otherwise CPU will be great for just overall case temperatures. So hopefully that makes sense. Now when it comes to defining the speeds, there's options what you can do. So in your fan profiles you can choose like this, which is essentially what we've got here, or you can choose a static line, which you can then just move up and down. So if you just want your fans to be a static speed all the time, then you can go ahead and do that. Alternatively, if you want them to kind of speed up and slow down based on the CPU temperature, then you can have it set up more like this. You can also create custom fan profiles. I've got one here called MUB, so that should be 20% at, where are we at? 20% at 20 degrees, 40 at 40, 60 at 60, and then 100% for 70 degrees Celsius. So slightly more aggressive curve, better for older processors rather than the modern ones which hit 80, 90 degrees Celsius pretty much at the flick of a button. But again, if we want to set this to all of our fans, just do apply to all, and they'll all be using the same profile. So hopefully that all makes sense. Again, obviously, if there's any questions, please feel free to reach out on the Discord or in the comments section below. So the next part is, if you don't actually want to use this, but you'd rather use your motherboard control software such as MSI Center, or you'd like to use the Aurora Sync software, Armory Crate, fan control, those kinds of things. Anything which runs from the motherboard, or just take the motherboard BIOS settings, you can choose to do that. So if you do motherboard RPM sync, you'll hear the fans ramp up because I don't have anything set in the software or in the BIOS, so it's just going to go to full speed straight away. So we'll turn that off. There is actually on the controller a fly lead which has a PWM connector and an addressable RGB connector which you connect up to your motherboard, and that is how it reads those speeds. So I think that is pretty much it for the fan settings. Obviously if you've got more fans and more controllers, you'll have more information here, but this is just giving you a basic overview. So the next one is going to be the sync and the quick sync lighting. So on this page here we've got our product demo, so showing you roughly what the system could look like. We've also got options for your lighting, so whether it's static colors or whether it's various different types of things, so like meteor or possibly rainbow, and click apply and you'll see the changes appear on this little product demo, and also you should expect to see that happen on your case as well. So if we do static color, we'll choose red because we've got an AMD system, we'll choose apply. Also you've got the option in here so you can go into the MB lighting sync. So that is your motherboard software. So if you've got the controller plugged into your addressable RGB header, you can click on that, and then it will use, in this instance, we've got an ASUS motherboard, so it'll switch over to the Aurora Sync or Armory Crate. If you've got MSI, it'll do Mystic Light, that kind of thing. So you can choose here to toggle the lighting controlled by the motherboard or from the Lian Li software, and you can do that separately for both. So you can have the RPM sync done by the software, but have the RGB done by your motherboard, whichever suits you. So lots of flexibility there. It's actually a nice little system. So we'll leave that set to off because we're going to take a look at this in a moment. Also, you can import and export settings and what have you, and speeds, directions, all that kind of stuff. But where it gets a lot more exciting is in the SL fan utility. So let's go into that next. So this is going to give you a visual representation of basically what is going on in your system. So if we set this to rainbow, because we've got this particular port connected, so this is port number 1, got port number 2, port 3 and port 4. Now on our system, we've only actually got ports 3 and 4 connected, but this is showing you could potentially have that many fans connected if you wanted to, so up to 16 fans on one controller. So port number 3, which I think is the one at the front, let's see, so if we set this to rainbow, so anyway, it's showing you the fans, and again, if we go to port number 4, which is the fan which is at the back, so we can go into there and we can choose a lighting effect. Now again, with these you can choose different ones on each fan, so if you want something different then you can do. If you want to synchronize it, again, you can as well. So anyway, lots of lighting effects potentially. So you've got the rainbow morph, which just cycles through colors. Again, if you do apply to all, it will change all of them to do the same thing. And you've got your fan profiles, you can also change those. So you can use the SL fan utility, not really have to bother going into the fan pump profile. You can do all of the things in here, which is kind of nice. So set that back to MUB, do apply to all, and we'll set that back to rainbow puke. And we'll do apply to all. So there we go, we've got our rainbow puke through and through. Now this is obviously showing that there's 4 fans on each channel, but what do you do if you don't have that many and it's not flowing correctly? So what you do is you can go into set quantity of fan, which opens up this in the settings section, which is what we're going to take a look at next anyway, so that's all good. So it shows you the SL fans and the controller, which we have connected. So again, this is a 4-port controller supporting up to 4 devices on each port. So what we do is just tell the ports how many fans you've got connected on each port. Pretty straightforward. So we've got nothing connected on port 1, nothing connected on port 2, on port 3, this is our front one, and actually when you click on there it will actually flash the fans briefly. Now it's saved it, excellent. So if we change port 4, and we'll call that rear, as you can possibly see on the screen there, it actually flashes. So if we press that one, you see it flashes blue a couple of times to say that is the selected port. If we click on number 4, you can see the fan there out the back is flashing a couple of times as well, just to say, yep, this is the one. So we've only got 1 connected to the rear, 3 on the back. So if you remove 1 from that group and click apply, you'll only get RGB on the top 2. If we remove another one, click apply, you can see now we've just got the top one. If you want to turn off the RGB altogether on the front, you could do that. But we don't want to do that because we've got 3 fans and they look kind of nice. So there we go, we've just added them all back in. So hopefully you can understand how this works. It's relatively straightforward. I quite like the whole thing, although sometimes it can be a little bit buggy, unfortunately. But yeah, it would be nice if there wasn't anything connected. You could say like disable the port so it didn't show up. That would make life a little bit easier, I think, but maybe that'll come at a later date. So when you're happy in here, click on apply, and that's all good. And as we're in the settings section, so in general, these are things you might want to take advantage of. So auto run on boot. So if you want the L-connect 3 to start when Windows starts, you can turn that on, as I have done here. You can also get it to hide in the system tray when it auto runs, which I've also done. So normally this will all be hidden, you'd never see it. It just runs kind of pretty silently in the background. Also, when you close the application, so rather than actually closing it, this will minimize it to the tray, which again is something we want to do. And you've got the option for displays a floating system information window, which is this one here. So if you don't want that, turn that off and it gets rid of it. If you want it on, obviously you can do that choose however you want it. You've also got language options, and for those of you that are still using Fahrenheit, you've got the option for Fahrenheit if you want to use it, or Celsius. So yeah, hopefully that all makes sense. So yeah, that is pretty much it. So we've got our SL fans, the update. If you want to do an update for the software, there's auto notifications that come on, and also if you want to, you can just click on check and check for updates. We're all good. We've got a green tick there to say we're up to date, which is great. And also there is the support section. So if you've got any issues, you can go to the FAQ to have a look, or if it's not on there, you can download a log of the software and click on report, and then you can report it back to Lian Li. So yeah, I think that is pretty much it for the software. It's actually quite a nice piece of software. I do like it. The only thing that I don't like about it is the fact that there doesn't appear to be any obvious easy way of synchronizing additional RGB devices to tie it all together, which is a shame. But if you've got a completely Lian Li system and you don't have RGB RAM, then you'll be absolutely fine. But again, if that is a problem, you can always go into the motherboard lighting sync, turn that on, and just let your motherboard take control of the RGB once you've got all the fans set up appropriately. Again, you can still use the SL fan utility and go into it and do whatever you want to in there, do your settings for the fan speeds, etc. But yeah, overall I think this is a really cool piece of software. I like it a lot, and again, massive shout out to Colin Hilton for the case, the fans and the controller. Much appreciated. Hopefully this video has been useful to you. Hopefully it has. If not, let me know what you need to know or what I haven't covered, and I'll try and cover it in a subsequent video, or do a short or something just to kind of update it a little bit. Hopefully the software will stay pretty similar. It has done for about a year or so now, so there doesn't appear to be any major changes on the horizon. So yeah, this should last for a little while. Obviously if there's any changes, then do let me know in the comment section, because I do have a lot of videos out there and a lot to keep an eye on. So I think that's going to wrap this one up. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, smash the like button, all that usual YouTube stuff. If you want to see content of this on a daily basis, maybe consider hitting subscribe and the chime notification. That way you'll be notified of future video releases. But for now, I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.